Greetings, valiant Helldivers, and welcome to the Liberty. I'm your host, Vanguard. Let's get straight to business as the enemies of managed democracy never rest. Galactic War Recap. The final push. Helldivers intensify war effort to construct Meridian Blockade. With time running out, Helldivers across the galaxy are doubling their efforts to gather the E710 and scrap metal required to fortify the blockade around the Meridian Singularity. The slaughter of Shredder tanks and Bile Titans has reached staggering numbers, but the automaton war machine still stands in our way. While Helldivers have surpassed expectations in purging the Terminid threat, the automaton kill count remains dangerously low, raising concerns that enemy forces may still have the strength to contest our defenses. With just hours left, every bolt, every bullet, and every bomb matters. This is a race against time, and only through unyielding firepower and absolute resolve can we ensure the construction of the blockade before the Singularity advances any further. Super Earth demands victory. Get back out there and scatter the automaton forces. The Singularity accelerates. Moradesh in danger. Just days ago, intelligence reports indicated that the Meridian Singularity was set to collide with Moradesh in a week's time. However, new data suggests the anomaly is accelerating, its advance now imminent. With only 2 days remaining, there is no longer any doubt. Moradesh will soon be engulfed. We need that blockade, Helldivers, and we need it now. It's day 397 of the Galactic War. At present, 26,500 Helldivers are deployed in the field. 8,000 Helldivers, about 30% of our forces, are currently stationed on Mentoria. A further 6,500, about 25% of our forces, are on Bor Rock. Then about 2,700 Helldivers, about 10% of our forces, are stationed on Basher. With just over 55 hours left on the current major order, the required number of Shredder tanks to be destroyed and Bile Titans to be exterminated has been reached. Just over 1 billion Terminids have been exterminated, some 70% of the required number, with current projections suggesting that this objective will be achieved in just over 27 hours. On the bot front, however, just over 475 million automatons have been scrapped. This equates to less than 50% of the required number of scrapped bots. And at this rate, this objective will not be achieved in time. That said, once the required number of Terminids have been exterminated, it's likely that the Helldivers will focus their efforts on exterminating the remaining number of automatons. To date, the Helldivers have completed 460,147,000,000 missions. More than 3,238,000,000 Helldivers have given their lives for freedom. 102,400,000,000 bugs lie dead. Over 41,079,000,000 automatons, and more than 19,092,000,000 Illuminate. The enemies of humanity are everywhere, and it is up to us to ensure that none of them survive. A rare case of authorized free thought. Warbond banners for super destroyers? Normally, independent thinking is a dangerous gateway to undemocratic sentiment, but in this case, Helldiver Yuroshenko 94 may be onto something. The idea of Warbond banners for our super destroyers, purchased through the superstore, could be the perfect way to showcase a Helldiver's hard-earned achievements while maintaining the pristine, regulation-approved aesthetics of our warships. Imagine stepping onto a bridge adorned with banners from your favorite Warbond, proudly displaying your commitment to manage democracy and superior fashion sense. Would it serve any tactical advantage? Absolutely not. But would it strike fear into our enemies and admiration into the hearts of our fellow Helldivers? Without question. High Command has yet to confirm or deny if this suggestion will be implemented, but one thing is certain. This is the kind of free thinking we can get behind. Whether it's some free-flowing banners or some dice we can put in the cockpits of the Super Destroyer, we are all for it. Now it's time for the democratic question of the day. The Ministry of Truth has asked you to rename accidental team kill to something more patriotic. What do you call it? The democratic question of the day yielded some exceptionally patriotic responses, and we are pleased to report that the Ministry of Truth has taken them under review. While some Helldivers may have strayed dangerously close to free thought, others have demonstrated a firm grasp on the values of managed democracy. Here are some of our top responses from today's discussion. Starstrike6395 writes, "Democracy's obsolescence." The Ride Never Ends 12 says, "Democratic miscalculation." Haha. JTRK3XG writes, "This is known as expiry due to unsafe levels of exposure to direct freedom, not the undemocratic term of team killing." Stereosonic01 writes, "Calling it accidental team killing is too harsh, and it also has a very negative connotation. I'd rather call it subconscious treason prevention, as clearly the soldier who killed his teammate just sensed that they would commit some treasonous act in the future, and, like the democratic angels they are, simply prevented said treason from happening." Now, instead of blaming the Helldivers for a crime they most definitely did not commit, they are now being glorified for their virtues and foresight. Well said, Stereosonic01. Well said. Stephen Young 3909 writes, "Democratic demise." And Notstrom77 writes, "Enemy kill denial." Overall, an outstanding display of democratic ingenuity. High Command will continue to monitor your responses and may or may not implement an official terminology update in the near future. Will Angel's Venture rise from the ashes? A Helldiver's hope for the future. The fires of Angel's Venture have long since died down, but the embers of curiosity still burn in the minds of Helldivers across the galaxy. Realistic Ocelot 4033 has put forth an idea that has many Helldivers wondering, could we see a new volcanic asteroid biome rise from the remains of the lost world? Angel's Venture. Could we get a new volcanic asteroid type biome? The concept has sparked debate among the ranks. Some believe that a scorched battlefield, rich in molten rivers and volatile terrain, could be a worthy addition to the war effort. After all, democracy burns brightest where freedom is tested hardest. However, another Helldiver familiar with the matter raised a different concern, one that questions the long-term sustainability of the war. Yeah, I don't think we'll be doing anything with these ruined planets, but sometime in the future, we will have to think about restoring ones that have been permanently altered. With the Galactic War raging on, the reality of permanent planetary destruction raises questions about the future of our battlefronts. While the Federation's strength is unquestionable, can we afford to leave war-torn planets in ruin forever? If democracy is to last for eternity, then perhaps one day, worlds lost to devastation will be reclaimed, not as they once were, but forged anew in fire and freedom. Until then, Angel's Venture remains a symbol, a reminder that no sacrifice is too great in the name of managed democracy. The Super Earth Art of War. Preparedness. The Helldiver who secures the drop zone first and awaits the enemy will be primed for glorious combat. The one who deploys late and scrambles to the front line will arrive breathless, disoriented, and possibly under friendly fire. Helldivers, hear me now. War is not won by hesitation, it is won by preparedness, by discipline, by securing the battlefield before the enemy even knows they've lost. When the drop beacon is cast, do not dally in the armory, agonizing over which gun feels best in your hands. Liberty is forged in action, not indecision. We must be the first boots on the ground, the first rifle raised, the first righteous fire to purge the heretics of freedom, the automatons, the terminids, and the illuminate. They do not rest, and neither can we. If we arrive too late, the battlefield is theirs, the initiative theirs, the advantage theirs. A Helldiver who rushes into war is no Helldiver at all. They are a casualty waiting to happen. So I ask you, will you be the soldier who controls the battlefield, or the one who staggers into a losing fight? Will you seize victory with steady hands, or fumble democracy away in a frantic scramble? Prepare, deploy, dominate. Super Earth demands nothing less. For Super Earth and democracy.